Morning, I'm Ashraf Boutahiri, electromechanical engineer and mechanical engineer, and I'm going to show you how to use CATIA software on my channel dedicated to CAD/CAM engineering and computer aided engineering and hand drawing for mechanical engineering. When you access to CATIA, you have this element here, for example. You select everything, for example, and you delete to start something new. Okay, and I select delete. Okay, to delete this elements. Maybe I can delete them one by one if we are not in the same sketch. So here we are in two sketches. Okay, so I'm going to go inside the first sketch like this. Okay, so here I can delete it from here. So for example, we are going to start a new product. Start mechanical design sketcher. Okay, part 1, and I select my plan and I choose to make a sketch on a XY plane like this. Okay, so here I have my tools here, and I would like to create a profile like this. And to get this constraints or a suggestion, I should activate this tool. Okay, geometrical constraint and dimensional constraint. So when I'm going to choose a horizontal or a vertical line and I click OK, so I have this small v, which means I have a vertical element. If I disable this element here and I choose to make it horizontal, I won't have a constraint built inside. Okay, if I activate it and I select a vertical element, it will be with V. So if I'm going this sketch tool, I'm going to define the length here. If I choose 20, enter, I have a defined length here, and when I click, I have this constraint activated due to this option here. If I disable this, and even if I select the length 30, click enter, and I select to define the length here, I have V, which is mean vertical due to this option, but not the length. So I should activate these two elements in the same time when I define length or the position of my elements. Okay, if I disable the option one more time here, I get this element like this. So the same thing if I'm choosing an element like this and I'm going to put it for example in this position, and I'm going to define the dimension, which is 30, and enter. Okay, I need just to set the angle. As you see, the angle here is moving, and I click. This is in blue. Software gives me a proposition of coincidence. If I click like this, so here I have all constraints defined here, and you have the axis which is connected to this point. Okay, the same thing if I'm going to choose a circle and I have these two elements here activated, I click just on this position and I choose to define a radius. For example, I choose a radius of 50 and I select enter. I have automatically a circle with a radius of 50, but this position is not defined. So what I should do, I'm going to choose a constraint and I specify the distance between this point, which is the center of my circle, and the vertical axis for the first time. And if I double click, I click one more time and I define the distance between the horizontal axis and this point, I get the horizontal position, which means my element is fully constrained, which means it is green, so I cannot move it. On the other hand, this element is white, so it can move to many dimensions. If I want to change a dimension, I just double click on it and I define this value here. So if I choose 80, I click OK, I have a new version, and I can double click one more time to choose more, to swap the location of my element like this, and I click OK. So here I have, for example, if I create many items, like this, and so on, like this. And I need to define a global constant. I select everything and I choose this option for auto constraint, and I have many constraints to element to define. I can choose reference element and symmetry line. For example, if I choose this symmetry line here and I click OK, I have a global constraint to all my elements, so I can move it, but the dimension is defined. Okay, so